Well, good evening. Hello. Welcome. Yoga for endurance athletes, everyday endurance athletes, and normal people too. I don't know. That's kind of a judgmental statement, isn't it? Saying normal people too, because that implies that endurance athletes are not normal. We're perfectly normal. It's normal to ride 100 miles at one time, isn't it? Around 26 at a time. Anyways, we're in seated position. And we're going to do a lot of torso twists today. That's going to be the name of the game. And let's start off by simply doing our breathing into our nose, into our belly. Try to drag the breath in. A lot of people find it helpful to breathe so that you breathe you inhale against the waistband of your pants, or if you put your hand at your belly button, you push against your hand. Either way, it's all good. You're trying to simply learn how to breathe through your nose into your belly. So during our practice today, keep that breath through your nose at all times, because we're going to do some crescent lunge and some other things that open up our front body that make it a challenge to breathe into our belly. And I will remind us as we go. All right. So right hand, left knee, left hand behind you. And we'll inhale and lengthen our torso, and then exhale and rotate so your left shoulder is coming back and your right shoulder is coming forward. And inhale and release that a little bit. Exhale into your belly and rotate. We'll do a few of these. This is the first easy kind of twist that we're doing. So remember, you're working on breathing into your belly on the inhale, and on the exhale, it's just relaxing. You're just letting your belly and the breath come out of you. Sometimes, if you're doing that, you might feel like you're not breathing, you're not inhaling enough, and that's when you're doing it right. You'll get enough air in. It's just a matter of learning to relax enough to be okay with that. And that's coming from me, the guy who can't relax for anything. Good. All right, let's come back. Find your easy pose, your center. And then we're gonna get left hand on your right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale and make yourself long, and exhale and rotate. Breathe into your belly. And so the whole principle is to let your breathing guide your movement. Don't force the movement. Just breathe, and with your breath, do the movement. That is number 27 of the principles of Paul. I'll bet you didn't know that was even a thing. Neither did I until a few minutes ago. But it is now a thing, the principles of Paul, or the Paul principles. I think we'll do the Paul's principles, but that kind of sounds like paws, as in my dog's paws. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm almost 60, so I figure it's about time I start dispensing my wisdom. I can't even say that with a straight face that I'm dispensing my wisdom. Good grief. All right, let's come back to a seated position. Hey, caramba. Wisdom and me don't usually sit in the same room. All right, we're going to just lean forward just a little bit, just to open up our back a little bit to allow exhale here, to allow some more movement in our spine, as if we're trying to curl over a little bit so that we are able to lengthen our spine, I guess. Yeah, I think this is going to make me giggle for the rest of the day. It's Paul's principles because I'm sharing my wisdom. It's a good thing when you can make yourself laugh. All right, good. Now switch your legs. And lean. Just pay attention to and see if there's a difference in your hips and anything that's feeling it. You definitely feel this in my, I guess this would be at the top of my left glute, in my left hip. It's just a little tighter than my right. It's evening. It's, you walk, you stand in different positions. Our bodies get kind of unaligned. And we are going to realign it. And we're going to spend a bunch of time in some poses that are a little, well, for me, they're really awkward because they're not easy to get into, and we're not going to really get into them. We're just going to do the best we can as always, but they're kind of fun because it's a nice little routine. All right, let's roll over onto all fours for just a moment. And in all fours, we will do simply a bird dog. And we're only doing bird dog simply to get a little bit of activation in our core. So let's extend your right hand and your left heel. So you're doing just stretching out, and we're just going to be doing this for a couple of breaths. Relax on the inhale, and on the exhale, just reach your heel and hand far apart. Good. Now let's come back to the other side. Left hand forward, right heel. So notice that I'm not pointing my toes, I'm pointing my heel. And exhale. And exhale. Good. All right, now we're going to come into our only downward dog of the night. Kick it up. And it's going to be really short because all we're going to do is look at the top of the mat and walk our feet forward into a forward fold. And come into a half lift. Exhale to a forward fold. Come all the way up. Arms overhead, hands together, and hands to heart center. All right, just bring our hands to our side. All right, so what we're going to be doing is a bunch of movements based on crescent lunges. And so rather than do the whole flow, do a three-legged dog, we're just going to start from a standing position. And we're going to work from here. All right, so we'll be in our standing at attention pose. Breathe into your belly through your nose, even though I didn't just do that. I can be excused because I'm talking. There we go. Good. All right, now we're going to inhale and take a step back with our right foot. Okay, and I wouldn't come back too far and make this too aggressive. You can if you wish, but we're going to be holding these for a little while. So they're going to end up being a bit of a challenge. So now, with crescent lunge pose, your back foot is straight. So we're not bending it like a warrior two. It's going to be straight. And the goal is to push back on your back foot and your back leg. Some people are able to get their heel down to the ground. I don't know how you do that, but if you're pushing on that back, so your back heel is coming toward the ground, that's going to keep you centered and balanced. And so what we're going to do here, get your arms up into the air. So the inhale is to relax your torso, come forward a little bit. And the exhale is to look up if you can and lean your torso back. So you'll feel obviously the work is happening in your left glute and your left thigh, but you're also feeling an opening in your right hip. And that's where in your right hip flexors. I'm gonna turn around, you just keep going. So there's, again, it's like a warrior one. There's just a lot of strength and mobility happening here. So you're relaxing your torso and exhaling it back. And this is where breathing into your belly becomes a challenge because you're extending your front body. All right, now do a few more of these. Now we're gonna get all twisty. Right, so from here, your left foot is forward. So now my right hand is coming forward and my left is back. So I'm trying almost do the opposite of a warrior two. And I'm rotating. This is where the awkwardness comes in. So the inhale is obviously just to come back, and the exhale is to try to rotate your shoulders. So you're going to be feeling this in a lot of places, in your torso, in your hips, in your back, obviously in the legs that are doing the work, holding you up. So we're just really working on the rotation. If you can try to look at your left hand as you rotate back. Oh, these are hard. Good, we only have 2 more breaths. And then there's no relief because we're just going to take our left hand, wrap it around, and you like put it on your butt or behind you, and lift up your right arm. Okay, so I'm going to come around to the front so you can see what I'm doing. So we're just reaching. Okay, we're almost done with the challenge. Reach up and reach and reach. Good. Okay, now comes the fun transition. Now we are going to roll back into the warrior two. So now we have way more weight on our back legs. We're relieving a little bit of the stress on your left butt cheek. We're in a warrior two. So now my left hand is going forward. My left knee is over my left ankle. My right hand is behind me. And I'm putting weight on my back foot as much as I can. Excuse me. So the inhale might be to relax my shoulders, having even come forward, and the exhale is to rotate them to the side, rotate my hip to the side, straighten my back leg so that it's almost locked out, but not quite. Reach my hands apart. And then the last thing we're going to do after a few more of these, all the isometric stress you're building up in your glutes and your hips right now, it's great. Now, I'm going to come into reverse warrior, drop your back hand, lift up your left hand into reverse warrior. So now the inhale is your straight torso. The exhale is to bend so that you're feeling this in your left side body and you're bending over. And all the weight is on your back foot now. And reach. And just breathe into your belly. Don't think about anything else. Inhale into your belly as you come up. Exhale, let it all out. Good, one more. Good, now, instead of just rotating, we're gonna relieve this tension in our right. Bring your right foot up and let the blood start flowing again through your left leg. Just walk it out. Perfect timing. All right, let's come back to it. Hope you're all doing well. Good, looks that way. All right, here we go. Left leg back into our crescent lunge. All right, so now, once again, crescent lunges are just more challenging and some more balancing than in a warrior, simply because your both feet are facing forward. All right, and again, the inhale is to relax your torso. The exhale is to reach up and back to create a back bend. All the time you're trying to keep your heel down. And if you kind of start to fall out, just come back into it. I made the mistake of thinking, oh, you feel pretty balanced tonight. And now I'm no longer feeling balanced. It's the universe telling me not to be arrogant. It's like, wait, I got this. Whoa. All right, so we got a few more of these breaths. We're just trying to build up. And sometimes it's easier too on your front foot to keep the weight on your heel and not on your toes, because the toes are going to be requiring you to do more work. Garage light just went off. With your calf muscles. Okay, now we're going to do the twist. So now our right foot is forward, so my left hand is going to come forward and my right is coming back. Whoa, this is way harder on this side for some reason. Maybe I'm just getting tired. I don't know. Holy baloney. Just keep rotating as you can. So your left, on the exhale, your left shoulder comes forward. Your right goes back. You're trying to split your hands as far apart as possible. Breathe into your belly as you inhale. Keep pushing your back heel back. All right, a few more of these. Almost halfway done. Okay, here we go. Now, our right hand is going to come up. Left is going to drop down behind our back or on our back thigh. And we're reaching our right hand up into the air. So now we're trying to create side body in our right. Reaching up on the exhale. Go, keep going. My left leg, after tiring it out, the other side is starting to yell at me a little bit. Good, we're almost ready with this, I'm starting to lean over as opposed to reaching up. So really keep working on breath into your belly. Good. Now, do the rotation. Drop your back heel. Instant relief. Reach with your right hand. Bring your left hand back. Getting so tired I can't even keep my right from my left. So we're in our warrior two, back leg, and just really trying to put the weight down on it. So I'm trying to reach my hands as far apart as I can on the exhale. As I rotate my hips sideways and trying to get my back leg so my hips are coming to the side. That's the goal, is I can just rotate them to the side and leave my front knee still pointing forward. That's the goal. Breathe into your belly. And exhale and relax. And again, I just started moving without my breath. Breathe first and let the breathing guide your movement. So then, as you're exhaling, come into the full warrior two. When you're done with the exhale, start to inhale and relax. And then come into the pose when you start to exhale. All right, one more. Good. Now drop your left hand, reach your right hand up. I promise you that we will be coming down to the mat in a moment. Exhale and lift up the inside. Create that side bend. Let your right side just open up. Breathe into your belly. Exhale and back. Well, we're doing really well. Good. I like what I'm seeing. Good. One more breath. All right, good. Bring your arm down. Bring your left foot forward and come back, into your mountain pose. Walk out your feet, your hips. Wow, there's a lot of muscle that just got worked in the hips and the gluteus. The gluteus, otherwise known as your gluteus. Not going anywhere farther. But you know those rhymed. Booty and gluteus. All right, arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale down to a forward fold, which should feel interesting after all that booty work. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, just bring your hands to the mat. Bring your feet back and come in to a seated pose for a moment. And then what we're going to do is come right down to a reclining position so we can do some twists with our knees. All right, so what we'll do is your soles of your feet are on the mat. Your knees are up in the air. I want you to lift up your right leg and cross it over the top of your left leg. All right, and what we'll do now is hands are at a 45-degree angle, palms are on the mat, and I want you to drop your knees over to the right. And the right leg is on top of your left, so that's creating some weight on your left knee. So then the inhale is just relaxing that. The exhale is trying to come out as much of a 45-degree angles as you can without twisting too far. Your left butt cheek is coming off the mat, but you're trying to keep your shoulders both on the mat. And you're just, this is a much more aggressive lower back twist, but we're just, again, using your breath and using gravity. Oop, there goes gravity. And inhale, just a couple more. Just continuing this final session of twists. Almost done. We have one more after this. And you are just letting your knees come down as you are trying to just gently release. Good. All right. Whew. All right, that's good. Now, lift up your left leg, cross over so that your left knee is on top of your right knee. And now we're going the other direction. Drop it over to the left. And you can even look over to the right. Try to keep your shoulders again on the mat. Inhale up. Exhale. You don't need to come all the way up like I just did, though. You can just come up a little bit. And on the exhale, you're trying to release, like sense what is tense. And for me, my IT band on the outside of my right leg is really tight. So feel that sensation of the tightness and just try to relax as it comes down, so gravity can just pull you down a little bit farther. Almost ready. Good. All right. Untangle yourself. Let's come up into a seated position. And all right. I feel very much that my spine has been twisted a lot. Let's find our breath into our belly. All right, hands at our sides. Inhale, lift your arms up, hands together. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Think of what you are grateful for this evening as we end our practice. I'm grateful for your presence tonight. Namaste. Thank you for joining us. Check out what we have to offer at simpleendurancecoaching.com. Sign up down below for our e-book about the mostly complete guide to strength training for everyday endurance athletes. It's a hoot to read. I don't know about a hoot, but it's informative. All right, take care of yourself. Bye.